People, welcome back to the great area.
Hello.
To our second show.
Yes, our second episode.
Yes, yay!
This is so exciting.
So today we was trying to figure out a good topic that we can talk about that I feel like a few people struggle with. We struggle with it, and that's fitting in with society or your family, or whatever the case may be. You feel like you're in the crowd, but you just not in the crowd. I know I've struggled with that a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking back before we began talking about this subject. For me, in my personal journey, as an example of fitting in, being raised in a family that's a Jehovah's Witness, and deciding when I got a certain age to leave, and that meant that I was going to have to just be disowned by my family. And that's a subject that a lot of people don't talk about. It's really touchy and sensitive and very soft, because we have people that want to be a part of our lives and want to be our family, and we appreciate that so much. But there's still this longing to want to be part of the family that you grew up with, that knows you from yay high all the way to the adulthood, and know about your challenges, know about your health issues, just know how to comfort you and how to be there for you. It's so hard because now all that stops. They've disowned you, and you're in a world full of people. It's basically you're just put in a world full of noise, and you have no idea what's familiar anymore. So that's a subject that is so it's so big and so vague, and it's so untalked about. There's specific parts of it that are talked about, like the teenage years, when you're in school, and those are very important parts of our lives.
We think.
Yes, but you still can go home to your family, and they can still comfort you. Right. But as an adult, where do you go? Right. So what do you do? Right. Like, I know how I feel about it, so I want to ask Alina how she feels about it, like when she sees other people in that position.
And I know you said before that it's different when you build a family, but because not everybody know, I grew up with two parents, and I can call them any time of the day and talk about nothing. So I don't know how it feels to be disconnected from it, except that I'm disconnected. So it does feel weird where you need somebody to hug or comfort you. You don't have that person. And I know your situation is a lot different. And don't you cry on this episode.
I'm not going to cry. And if I do, it's okay.
It's okay.
Because we're making it through it.
Yes, and Gia is our crier. You'll see. You'll get to see,
I'm emotional.
But it's good emotions. It's not sad.
Yeah, I'm okay with showing how I feel about things, and if that comes out in tears, it comes out in tears. If it comes out in laughter, it comes in laughter. When it comes out in anger, we are working on that, and that's very few and far between.
It is.
But it's important for me to explain, because the way that I see it. So, for example, you have I'll just use me as an example. I had my first child at 21, and that's something that your mom is there for, and that she's, helping you and teaching you and growing you through this journey. And it's gone. It's not there. And I remember writing one of my pieces and finally acknowledging how painful it is. I wrote in my poem. I can't remember the name of it now. Everything is still like a blur. I said, I remember being there and thinking, as I was getting ready to give birth, where's my mom? Where's my dad? Where's my brothers and sisters? Where's my family? This is crazy. I can't do this. I'm scared. And that's just how it is in all situations that you're going through. You expect to have your parents there, your family there, and when they're not, it's shocking. And it's like, we appreciate having people step in to fill that void. And by no means in any disrespect that we don't appreciate it, but you can't.
And I understand kind of how you feel, because I don't have family up here, and even though I'm married, I bring my daughter with me everywhere, and she goes to work with me, and the only person that really helps me is Gia. And I feel like there's people that lives in the state that could help but don't. So I understand, like, you just need that person, even though they're not my blood, they're still should be family, and they're just not there. So I kind of understand, but I don't understand that deep emotion because I never got to be deeply emotional with that person.
Right.
But for
And
reasons. So
like, I wanted to talk about the fact that, again, how concepts and perceptions tell us that as a family you should be there.
Right.
Because that, again, too, is another concept that I am challenging in my mind, because as I grew up, that's my family supposed to be there. Family are supposed to help you out, but that's been my experience in my past marriage.
Right.
That the concept that I have had of family isn't always true, and it's not a bad thing. It's that some people can't do
Right.
it, and they're not available to do
Right.
it, and they're still working on them. And it's like, where do you
right.
draw that line of they're not trying to help or they can't
help. Right.
So we'd like to know your viewpoint, so
Right.
please comment below,
Right.
of your experiences.
Right. And I also think, because I know there's people that's in different situations from us, like you're really disconnected from your family on the emotional side. I'm disconnected through space. And I know there's people who might have been adopted and don't know their biological parents, but they still have that urge to know who they are, or, you know, that connection, and how deep this connection is. And then as a society, on TV and everywhere, it shows what family's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this tight-knit unit, and in reality,
Yeah, they don't talk about family being crazy.
right.
They don't
And there's
talk
more
about-
dysfunctional families than there are functional. Okay.
Right.
What is functional?
What is functional? Like, maybe it is healthy to keep your distance. For some of us, it is, and then for some of there are the crazy ones, and there are the black sheep, those who consider themselves the black sheep of the family. But maybe that is normal. Everybody's not supposed to be the
Right.
same. It's like, where did we come up with this idea of what family is,
supposed
except
to
for
be.
the connection and bonds that
Right.
we build together?
It's supposed to be, because, you know, some people say, if you hear that, that's my dog barking in the background.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, like when they say that bond between a mother and child when you first come out, everybody don't have that instantly. That
I
is
didn't.
not, I didn't.
I did not.
I really didn't. And, you know, I see the connection that just some people like, oh, my baby. I was like, oh God, what am I going to do with this little thing? But it's true. But people don't talk about it. Like, it's not an instant bond. That's something that grows. And some people get it while they're in the womb. But some people, you either want it, because you have to want it. It's not something, sometimes it's not just a natural thing. You have to want that connection and put in the work to get that connection too.
Yes,
'Cause-
I had to. I remember having this idea of, oh, I love my baby more than I love myself, and it's going to be this and it's going to be that. The truth is, you have to love yourself first before you love your baby, because there's no way that you can take care of yourself so you can be available for your child.
Right.
But when I remember looking back on this, and I was thinking how I wanted to have my baby, and if everybody else failed, I would always have him to love me. But if I wasn't available to take care of him, then we're both up
Right.
the creek with we're both screwed.
Right.
So it's like we have this mental perception of what it is we
Supposed to do.
are supposed to do as mothers.
Right.
But let me just use that example as mothers.
Right.
But where do we get this?
Right.
I learned from my mother things I needed to learn, and this isn't in no way, shape, or form bashing my parents at all. It's just understanding and realizing that we're all in certain places, and sometimes we just can't give
Right.
what is expected of us because we don't have it. Just
We're
like
not
in the
this
beginning
place to give that. Yeah.
with me raising my children, I
Right.
didn't have it at all. I wanted it, and then I realized I didn't have it because I didn't have that healthy connection inside of myself. So it's like,
Right.
I couldn't give what I didn't have because my mother didn't give me what I needed to be that.
Right.
But I was forming the same generational problem with my children if I didn't stop and get help. So it's like,
right.
Where do we change that? Like,
no, because I mean, on my side, it's like my mom was a great mom. I feel like my sister's a great mom. G is a great mom. You are. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, they get up, they cook for the kids, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get up and cook again. Like,
but it's all learned.
It is all learned and just all developed.
But nobody talks about that.
Nobody tells you how to learn and develop those things. And because honestly, like, I have to remember to feed my child because I didn't always eat like that. I'm like, I'll eat one meal a day and I'll be good. Like, okay, but now I have to cook and feed this thing 3 times. Not thing, but child.
Yes, well, and that's what my mentor mom told me. She's like, you can't feed your kids the way that you eat. And I was like, why not? Because they're kids. They're not going to tell you when they're hungry. And I was like, oh. So I had to learn at 30-something years old how to retrain my mind to take care of my children, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. Society tells you it's not okay. I was going through the shopping center, I think it was Walmart, and I saw one of these magazines. I don't know if it's Star or whatever, saying what a good mother and a good or bad mother is. And I was like, this is where we get our concepts.
Right. I don't think there is a good mother or bad mother. It's just people doing what they have to do, and some people
don't know what's appropriate and what's not.
And it's the situation. Some people, you have children and you have a good job, everything is good, you can be there physically for your child and mentally for your child. Then some people have to work. Some parents have to work 2 or 3 jobs. Does that mean they're a bad mom because they can't get the time to do that? Or
society says so.
Right, society says so. Like, you're not there for your child because they need to be there, but you can't because you have to work 2 jobs.
Because we've been put in a position where if we don't work, that we cannot afford the home to take care of our child. So, and then some of us are single parents.
Right.
And we're not available. I am blessed to be able to go to school and have enough strength to provide for my children as their father financially provides for them, and I provide the emotional support, and I'm there at night with them so that they can get their homework done and things like. Not a lot of parents have that support. Right. Sometimes they have to do it all,
right.
And that's why I remain grateful for the position that I'm in. But a lot of people can't do that, right. And so why are we as parents judging them in the way that they parent?
Right. Exactly. Because I'm like, I feel like I am extremely blessed because I've been with Marta since she was 2 months, working, trying to develop businesses, and I feel like I'm not there all the time because I feel like sometimes, even though I'm there and she's with me all the time, I can't give her the attention that she may need because I'm working. But I am blessed that I'm able to be with her in the last 2 years and teach her and stuff like that. Even though I feel like I'm not doing a good
Caucasian environment, so I am still working.
Yeah, I didn't, but
well,
my mom is I grew up in a really strict Christian society, so I grew up around a lot of black people, but I also grew up with a lot of different, because my friends, we had Spanish, we had Asian, we had white, we had black. It's just a group of collective people. So
yes.
Early on, I developed, I can kind of gel with a lot of different cultures, and it's cool.
So yeah, like I was saying, it's free flowing for us to say, but in no way are we trying to make any type of prejudice or any type of remarks like that. I will go ahead and emphasize too that my children are mixed. So again, I have to remember when I say specific things to be very clear what I mean, because I don't want to offend my children, and neither do I want them to offend others. But yeah, it's like for that too, even if we touch base on culture,
right?
My children had a hard time fitting in a different state that we lived in, and now that we moved to Baltimore, they feel more at home because there's more people like them. And we don't think about these things when we look at children and why they're having issues in school,
right,
or why they feel like they can't fit in. But that's reality. It's funny, last week I showed you the boots that my son bought.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were just like, my son, he has these Doc Martens that are pink and fuchsia, and they're totally different, but they're beautiful. And because he wants to be different, and he's learning that that's okay to be different, and that's great, because most children want to follow each other,
right? Want to be the same.
Yes,
it's not just children; it's people.
everybody.
But it's okay to be yourself. Like, I understand you're in a culture and stuff like that, but when I look at people and, everybody now, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that's wearing the same hair and the same makeup and the same, like, everybody looks the same, and you can make yourself look like everybody else because of makeup or of hair and stuff like that, but it's okay to be you. Like, if you're getting teased because you wear your hair differently, then something is wrong with that person. There's nothing wrong with you. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't have a problem. I'm a hairstylist. I don't have a problem with weaves or natural, relaxed hair, just as long as that's who you are and you're not trying to be what you see
Yeah.
somebody else trying to be.
So basically, we're about to wrap it up a little bit, but the
We went
biggest.
all over the place.
Yes, we're all over the place, but that's okay because it's just our
It's
show.
just,
If you want to hear something different, let us know. We can try to, fit into what you like. We want it to be not just what we are trying to
Like I said,
promote. It's an everybody affair.
Yeah.
So coming down from not fitting in, for being placed outside of your family because of your beliefs, for being in different cultures, for not fitting in a crowd filled with people, at clubs, for instance. I knew that I couldn't fit in, and that's where I began drinking because what they call is alcohol is a liquid courage, so that you can feel okay with everybody else. So I get that too, because I didn't fit in, and I was this girl that was raised too in a strict environment, so I get it. I totally understand. But we'd like to hear your experiences. Yeah, we would like to hear your experiences and situations that you may have felt that you didn't fit in.
Right.
And what your solution is, and share it with the rest of our community.
And how you coped and decided it was okay to be your authentic self.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
And we look forward to hearing from you.
Yes. And again, I'm Elena.
And I'm Gia.
And we'll see you next time.
On the gray area.